Step right up, dummies, and listen to the stupidest sports show on earth with Rodney Newpol and Tim Van Stratton. Yeah. Well, hello, dummies, and welcome. This is episode number 122 of the stupidest sports show on earth. My name, as you all know, is Tim, Jim's brother, Van Stratton. I'm joined by Rodney Newpol on a Thursday night, our second Thursday night show of the really of the history of the show, but of 2026. And Rodney, how are you? Let's start there.
I'm well. It's a nice Thursday night. We are getting closer to some football action, and things are good. It's a cold. We always talk about the weather here. It's cold again. It has decided to get really cold, and apparently there's going to be some snow overnight and in the morning. So that's how we're doing here, and still quite a bit going on in sports. So exciting times going on right out there.
Yeah, very exciting times. I would definitely say so. And you planned today's show. Naturally, had a lot of NFL to get to. I saw where we were gonna start the show, which I'm very excited to get to. But mere minutes ago, if you're just joining us, there's breaking baseball news, and it happened again.
Yeah,
it happened again. Kyle Tucker, the biggest name on the free agent list, has signed with the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Yeah.
And I've been telling you for years now at this point that this is getting ridiculous. It's getting out of hand. And everyone was saying that the Blue Jays and the Mets were right there. The Mets were reportedly offering $50+ million a season. The Blue Jays were heavily in the mix, and the Blue Jays have been super aggressive, 2 outs away from winning the World Series. But Kyle Tucker decided to, just like Shohei Ohtani, just like Edwin Diaz, just like all of the big stars from the last few years, decided to be a gutless loser, a coward, and a spineless jagoff, and went to the LA Dodgers.
Yeah, and it's just now coming down. Bob Nightingale is reporting 4-year deal.
Yeah,
for Tucker. I have not seen the financials on it yet, but it's pretty stupid at this point, right? Like it's pretty stupid at this point that the Dodgers basically are doing, and I'm kind of going to steal some words from you in our talk earlier, are doing what the NBA was doing years ago and haven't done in probably a decade at this point, is the super teams and these star players deciding to go join other stars instead of trying to beat them with the Mets or the Cubs or the Blue Jays or any of those teams. He decided, well, I'm just going to join them, and that's my best opportunity to win a ring. So Kyle Tucker now in a lineup with Mookie Betts, Shohei Ohtani, Max Muncy. Who else is in that lineup?
Yeah, it's
Freddie Freeman.
I just had it pulled up here. So it would be Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, Tucker, Will Smith, Max Muncy, Teoscar Hernandez, Andy Pages, Tommy Edman. Then you get to a rotation that has Yamamoto, Blake Snell, Shohei Ohtani, Tyler Glasnow, Roki Sasaki, and Edwin Diaz, their closer, who they signed early on this offseason.
So John Heyman just now reported the deal is 4 years, $240 million.
Okay, well that makes a little sense then. 4 years, $240. That's $60 million a year. Jesse Rogers saying that he has an opt-out after the second year. There is no universe where Kyle Tucker opts out of that deal after 2 years. So that would be the year after there's a lockout, presumably. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's not happening. Good God. So and you know what's going to happen, Rodney? People are going to be like, "Are you kidding me?" Like the Dodgers can throw this money around. But yet Dodger fans are going to be like, well, other teams can do that. Let me tell you something. And I don't want to sit here and be like, defend the owners. Like, you know how I feel like about these owners, and baseball in particular has its fair share of very cheap owners. But there is no other team that has the roster that they already do, like all of the salary and the contracts already in place, that can just say, hey, just for fun, let's give this guy $60 million a year.
Yeah.
There is no other team in baseball that can do that.
No.
And that in itself is the problem.
Yeah. $60 million a year.
It's not even the Yankees at their height, where they were the evil empire. Not even them were spending at this type of level.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. And you mentioned at the start of the Mets offering $50 million. Kyle is able to laugh at that one. He's able to laugh at $50 million. He got $60 million. That's wild. That is absolutely wild to me. $60 million. Yeah, you're right. Like, there is no one else that can do it. It's silly. It continues, and we are going to have a lockout in a year.
Are you kind of hoping there is one? Is there? And like we love baseball. We love baseball.
Yeah.
But is there a small part of you? Is there that too? And it's like one of those things where it's like kind of have to think like, okay, is this just my emotions getting the best of me, or like, because like a whole year without baseball, like it feel very empty. Like it would be like what it was with like COVID, right? Where it's like, oh God, like all we're watching is golf. like that's it, just golf. But like I feel like it's going to take something very drastic in order for things to change. And maybe that's the thing, because like there's no indication that things are going to slow down. There's no point. Like the Mets, Steve Cohen bought the Mets, and immediately he was like, all right, I have this FU money. I'm going to throw all that, and we're going to win immediately. And he did that for a couple of years. And keep in mind, Steve Cohen is insanely wealthy, but he did that for a couple of years and was like, all right, you know what? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like, I got to dial things back a little bit. But like the Dodgers never do that. There's never a point where they're like, we got to dial things back a little bit. They win the division every year, and they're like, you know what? Not enough. We're going to give Shohei Ohtani $700 million. You know what? All right, great. We won the World Series. You know what we're going to do? We're going to get all these other additional players. Great. Won the World Series again. You know what? Let's go ahead and give Kyle Tucker $60 million a year just because. Like, and they're going to keep doing it, and it doesn't matter like who they already have. That just keeps happening and happening and happening, and there's no stopping them. And at some point, other owners are going to be like, Manfred, Kamish, do you see what's happening here? Like, I know, Ohtani, the marketing, it's great for the game, but like, you do have 30 franchises that you need to think about, not just one.
Right. Yeah, no, it is absolutely silly. And you're going to get Tucker and Ohtani's yearly contracts are going to be more than the entire roster from some of these other teams. Because what's Shohei making a year?
Like, so, well, I mean, the deferrals, so it's what, $2 million a year?
Yeah, good point. Well, I'm just saying, like, there's going to be 2 or 3 guys on a payroll that are going to take up the entire payroll of the Athletics, right? Like, that's just stupid. It's just stupid money and stupid how that continues to happen. And we've talked about this over and over, and it hasn't changed, and I don't know as if it's going to change, but yeah, that's the news of the night. Now, I appreciate Kyle putting it right before we came on so we could break the news, courtesy of us. Nobody tagged us, though. I don't understand it. Why we didn't tag this news. I don't get that. But I was just gonna say that with Tucker. So like we're talking about on the Dodgers perspective. So it doesn't seem like Cubs fans have any real sort of like, oh, I can't believe he left. Like we mentioned it before, but it kind of felt like the second the Cubs were eliminated, everyone knew he wasn't going to resign there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and the Bregman deal not obviously helps that blow, right? Like maybe it would have meant more with Tucker signed and they hadn't got Bregman. Oh man,
Yeah.
we lost that one.
So
What are we gonna do?
so they
But
they essentially replaced Tucker with Bregman in the lineup. And like
yeah,
Bregman's a good player, but I think just offensively overall, that's a little bit of a downgrade. So really, the only sort of upgrade that the Cubs made this offseason was Edward Cabrera.
yeah,
But it
good
also
player.
cost them their top prospect, but like,
Yeah.
they could part with them. So
yeah,
we'll
good
see how
player.
we'll see how the rest of the market folds, because I'm sure now that everyone's waiting on Tucker, and now it's going to be Cody Bellinger, and I think now the Yankees are kind of desperate to bring Cody Bellinger back, even though they didn't even make Tucker an offer for some reason. Yeah, but we'll see what happens. Let's get to happier news, man. I'll let you start here.
Yeah, we're less than 48 hours to the divisional round. We talked a lot about these games. We talked about our favorite games. We have our picks coming up later. I mean, really kind of the only news that came out is Sam Darnold is questionable with an injury. I'm not really buying that he would be at any risk or any jeopardy of missing, but that did come down on the injury report today. And we're going to get to coaching news here in a minute, but I guess like there's not a lot of news per se. I mean, we can preview the game until we're blue in the face, but I think we're all ready for the divisional round. And don't most football fans, football experts consider the divisional round the best weekend in football?
Oh, you know what? That's a good question. I'm not sure. It's certainly like you get four games. They're all like high quality teams.
Yeah, right. I mean, theoretically, it should be your best 8 teams. You had the best 12 last week. Well, not the best 12. You had 4 through 12 or 5 through 12. Excuse me. But
you could
probably. I heard somebody mention the divisional round's the best. You get 2 games Saturday, 2 games Sunday, so you get a full weekend of football, and then we lead right into the national championship on Monday.
And just thinking about it, like I know that apologies if you put together some personal power rankings this week, but thinking about the 8 remaining teams, it's probably the top 8. Like I can't think of a team that lost last weekend that's like, oh man, they were a true contender, or they were an elite team. I can't believe they lost. Like Panthers, it was like Panthers, Packers, Jaguars, Eagles, Chargers, and then Steelers. Like I think that those are the teams that are like, I wouldn't have picked any of them to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think the Jaguars could have found their way into the top 8 towards the end of the year, as well as they were playing. I don't know off the top of my head. And several times with the way the Bears and Packers played down the stretch, I could have seen the Jaguars probably move ahead of them in a power rankings format. But you're right. Like we're essentially getting 8 of the best teams, or at least 8 of the top 10 teams. I can't argue that any of the teams remaining are not top 10 in the NFL.
Yeah. No, I think that's good. The Jaguars certainly, I would have fully been on board. Like if the Jaguars would have won last weekend against Buffalo, and they very well could have, like I would have liked them against Denver.
Yeah. No,
we saw it happen already. Like we saw them go into Denver and beat their ass. Like they were a really good football team. I'm very excited about all 8 of these teams. One thing I just thought about with the Jaguars, it's like, if you're a Jaguars fan, you got to be really pissed off you won the division, because winning the AFC South this year got you a first-round matchup against Josh Allen and the Bills, where if you would have been the wild card, you would have gone to Pittsburgh and played decrepit Aaron Rodgers and a horrible Steelers offense. Like, that was a nice break for the Texans to not win the division this year.
This is what I do want to get to. John Harbaugh is your new football coach at the New York Giants. As a New York Giants fan, let's talk about that. So it came down today. First of all, I can't.
Came down last night.
Yeah, this was
last night, technically. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's start with that. You can't say you're too surprised. I think you could probably say you started to get a little bit nervous as some of these openings came up, and Harbaugh did at least one other interview in Atlanta.
So, which was, by all the reports, was just a phone call that then the Falcons put out saying it was an interview, and I guess that there were some people that were like, why did they do that? John Harbaugh had and obviously, he had phone calls with other teams, and they've said as many as 9 teams called him within the first hour that he was fired by Baltimore. So, but like the only formal meeting / visit was yesterday with the Giants. The idea was that he was going to go to New York. Steve Tisch sent his private jet to pick up John. They went to East Rutherford. It's probably like a 40-minute flight from Baltimore, for what it's worth.
Right.
They spend the whole day together. He's at the facilities. They go out to dinner, all this stuff, and then he was going to fly back home. And then Titans representatives and a lot of people that were plugged in were saying the Titans were probably the biggest threat to the Giants because of, it's a winnable division. They have Cam Ward. There's a lot of cap space, like all these reasons, right? And the idea was that, all right, Harbaugh is good, but they're going to come visit him. Like, he's not going to go to Tennessee. They're going to come to his house. But then I don't know what happened. Like, something on Wednesday changed where like the Giants were just able to finally like say like, this is the place for you. And John was like, you know what? I think you're right. And late last night, like I'm sitting there, it's 11 something PM Central time. So well after midnight on the East Coast. And the New York Post breaks the news that, John Harbaugh, he's everything's lined up for him to be the next head coach. And then Schefter was on it. And then that was that. So like the Giants got him first and sounds like that was the place that he wanted to go from the start. And I'm very, very fortunate that everything aligned. Finally. Yeah. Like it's been it's been 10 years since the Giants had like a proven, respected head coach. And I'm very, very hopeful.
Yeah. So let's get to this one. New York Giants expectations. So obviously this was a team that was not great last year. Hasn't been great for a while, but saw some progression, obviously ran into several injuries. But as a Giants fan, your 2026 expectations, and then going forward, the expectations of John Harbaugh as the head coach, like where does this need to go?
All right. So there's a couple things. So John Harbaugh in Baltimore was obviously, he's known for being a culture guy, the CEO. Yeah. Like he's going to raise the floor. His worst years in Baltimore would be like the best season the Giants have had in a decade, like 8 and 9. I'd kill for 8 wins this year. Like that's his dismal season, right? So he's known as the culture guy who could raise the floor, but also he builds an excellent coaching staff. All of the reports are saying that he's going to bring in Todd Monken, who was the OC from Baltimore the last 3 years. And I mean, look at the last few years of Lamar Jackson. Like Todd Monken's going to be a great hire. He's always seems to have a good defensive coordinator, and there's a lot of really, really good candidates there. So I think the staff is going to be really solid. He's going to have a pretty good input on the personnel, like the players that they bring in. He's been around a lot of really good teams the last 18 years. He knows what winning football looks like. So like, I'm very excited about that, but really like, it's going to come down to how, like, after they put everything in place, like, can the players execute? And then also, like, is Jackson Dart going to take the next step? Like, Jackson Dart had a really good rookie year. I don't know, like, what people saw to make them disagree, but, like, I watched a lot of Jackson Dart. He looked really good. Guy had, like, 24 total touchdowns as a rookie and didn't turn the ball over. Like, now you give him John Harbaugh and Todd Monken and, more pieces on the offensive line, maybe another weapon, like Neighbors will come back. Like I'm pretty bullish on how Jackson Dart's going to develop. And honestly, like that division is it's not like Philly's going to have that division locked up. Like I'm not scared of Washington at all. I'm not scared of Dallas at all. Like Philly, I think, is sort of at this crossroads right now where they're like, I don't know about this Jalen Hurts thing. So like the Giants can immediately step up and try to take that division, which is exciting. It's not like, oh, John needs to rebuild it for 3 years before they can contend. This can happen right away.
Yeah, and we've seen several teams just this year and over the last several years go from worst to first very easily. I mean, Patriots, Bears are two very, very good examples.
Yeah, exactly. Like if this could be like a Mike Vrabel situation with the Patriots, where like a proven head coach goes to a young team, second-year quarterback. Like Vrabel, honestly, has a lot of input with how they're building that roster in New England. And I think that you're going to see something similar with the Giants now.
Now, don't they play the NFC West next year?
Yes. Yeah. It is the NFC West.
The schedule is not going to be an easy one, right? I mean, right,
easier than this year.
Yeah,
certainly.
But the toughest schedule in the NFL.
Yeah, So the hope is that the schedule is going to be a little bit lighter. I think it's NFC West and AFC South are the two divisions.
Well, that's not bad. Then AFC South is kind of lightens that blow a little bit. Do the New York Giants win a Super Bowl under John Harbaugh?
So historically, the numbers would say no, because there's no coach in NFL history has won a Super Bowl with two different teams.
That's wild.
Doesn't that seem kind of crazy that like of all the amazing coaches that like none of them could do it with a second team?
History. No coaches won a Super Bowl with two different teams.
Right. Like no head coach. Yeah. Yeah.
That's wild. So yeah.
Right.
I mean, the odds are
like you've been like, like Andy Reid went to a Super Bowl with Philadelphia, but then he didn't win one until he was with Kansas City. And like there's all these guys that almost got there but could do it, but like so he would be the first, but like someone's got to be the first.
Sean Payton's got a chance this year.
Sean Payton could do it. If Denver wins, he would become the first. That's exactly right. So like
he'd be the only he'd be the only one.
Yes.
McVay, Ben Johnson, Shanahan,
McDonald, none of them.
McDermott,
Vrabel, no. So it would be Sean Payton. Yeah.
So
like it's I mean it could happen, but like things are looking good right now. Like I don't want to give a firm answer right now but like the NFC, Matthew Stafford could call it soon. You have a couple other teams that sort of are in their prime right now, but like Jackson Dart is going to be going into his second year. Like they're going to be in that next group right now that's like ready to emerge. That's the hope. So
what you're saying is by about June, July, August, get all the Jackson Dart and Malik Neighbors jerseys out there.
How you like to view the world, I would say yes.
And Cam Scatterby.
And Cam Scatterby. Yeah.
Who's the most popular, you think, of those three guys?
To who? Giants fans or to everyone else?
Do both. Giants fans first. Who's the most? You go to MetLife.
Mm-hmm.
You're counting the amount of jerseys of those three guys. Who has the most?
It would have been Neighbors going into the season. I think now it's probably Dart, just because he's like the franchise quarterback. I think he proved that like he's going to be the guy. On a level of like non-Giants fans, it's probably Cam Scatterby.
Yeah.
Like
just
people freaking love Cam Scatterby, and like that goes back to like when he was at Arizona State. Everyone fell in love with him.
Yeah, I mean his off the field is a little more colorful.
He's an insane person. That's what you're looking for. He's an insane person.
I saw that he commented on Melissa Ayers' "Give My Boy Back" or something. Give my man back because she's dating Jackson Dart now. Marissa Ayers. I don't know.
You know a lot more about it than I do, brother. I have no idea who that woman is. I know that she's a hot blonde though. Like that's all I saw. I don't know the name.
Yeah, he commented, "Give me my man back" or something. It was that's Cam Scannaboo. So, all right, let's move on to the next part. Which job fills next? So we have 8 openings in the NFL. Obviously, as of now, if something comes open between, again, I don't think there'll be any more. I really don't think there'll be any more openings. But 8 left. So which one fills next?
It's funny. Like everyone was just waiting for this Harbaugh thing to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think of who's done a lot of interviews so far. I feel like Tennessee's interviewed a shit ton of people.
Yeah, they have.
And they've been still open have a long more.
Time. And the Giants Giants have been open for a long time. Some of these haven't been open that long because the season just ended. They fired at the end of the season.
Yeah,
Giants were open. Tennessee was open.
I'll say Tennessee wants to get their guy in there. Like they've had the opening the longest. I think that they were obviously in on Harbaugh, but I'm sure they had like backup plans. But like you have, Pittsburgh's in the early stages. I feel like Baltimore's only got a few guys. I don't know about you, but I've heard nothing about like Arizona. Like I have no idea what Arizona and Cleveland are doing. I've heard nothing about their processes.
Yeah.
And the Raiders to a degree. Have you seen a lot of like Raiders interviewing blah blah blah? Like I haven't heard much at all. And maybe just because like my timeline is all Harbaugh Giant stuff. Like I haven't seen anything about them.
Wasn't Raiders talk about Brian Flores?
I think early on, but like Pittsburgh interviewed him, and obviously Flores had the one really good year with Pittsburgh. That sort of got him back into the head coach conversation. And I think Brian Flores is, at least last I saw, is the favorite or maybe the second favorite to get the Pittsburgh job now. So I don't know.
I think Pittsburgh, and I know his name's been talked about, but I think Pittsburgh should make one final call to Marcus Freeman.
I think so
and just
too.
Say, hey, Marcus, like you're the guy we want. You're our general here. I mean, a younger guy. They have a track record of hiring a younger guy, kind of a culture guy. They have the track record of it. I mean, I'm not saying it because Mike Tomlin was black and Marcus Freeman's black, but it's like, okay, now we've got a younger version of Mike Tomlin here. And I don't necessarily think they even coach similar, but a great culture guy, a great fit for Pittsburgh. I don't know. I would probably give Marcus a call and see. But yeah, Gateway Sports, first few minutes we talked about that. I know you just logged on. We talked about the Kyle Tucker $60 million per year.
So gross.
Wow. Yeah, so gross. So you're going Tennessee next to hire. Yeah, I think that's probably the right move. Titans next. All right, let's move to college football real quick. The Hoosiers now are pretty big favorites. And what started at 5.5 is now 8.5. That's a lot of points to be moving for a natty. That is a lot of points to be moving for a national championship. Does Vegas, do they know something we don't know here? Of course they do, but what are we missing that this moves from 5.5 to 8.5? 8.5, just tons of money on the Hoosiers?
I was going to ask you, man, because like I was stunned when I saw that. Like maybe it's just because of the level of dominance that Indiana's beating these teams. I don't know. And like Miami, like Miami had the close game against like all their games have been fairly close.
Yeah.
Winning with defense, running the ball, and Indiana's just like, we're just gonna throw it and just hit you with bombs and just beat you into submission. But yeah, what'd you say? So 5.5 is what it opened up. It's 8.5 right now on DraftKings.
Yeah, it's wild. It's just absolutely wild. I mean, we're going to get to best bets for betting soon, but it seems like way too many points for a national championship, way too many points for a Miami team that's, obviously played pretty well. I'm a little confused why it moved 8.5.
Yeah, it's kind of scary. It's kind of scary that there's a reason, but like we're going to give our best bets for betting and stuff, but like I think about Miami and like, and you and I've talked about it. They have NFL caliber talent on both sides of the ball, it's particularly like along the line. And you're going to see it on the field on Monday where Miami's going to have 40, 50-pound advantages, like their defensive linemen going up against Indiana's offensive line. And like, I think that a lot of people are overlooking that component where I'm not sure if Indiana has faced many teams with that level size. Like, Ohio State obviously is a really good team, but like Indiana barely got past Ohio State. Like that was a close game for the Big Ten title. Like Oregon didn't have that level of size, and Indiana was able to easily dispatch them. So I just think Miami's going to challenge them a lot more than people expect.
So the current look at StubHub, $2,800 to get in the door.
It's too much money.
You think, to go to a college football game? And supposedly, with the game being played in Miami, they're projecting up to 75% Hoosier fans for this one.
Somebody, that was. I was just going to ask you that. Yeah. So, people were just like, "Oh, the game's in Miami, home field," but honestly, like with the amount that Indiana traveled for the Peach Bowl, I was like, are we sure that Indiana's not going to have a home field advantage again in Miami? Like, and I know a lot of like people in South Florida are probably just going to sell their tickets anyway. And like Indiana fans are going to smash them. Like, this is, everyone's like, oh, the U is back. And yeah, like Miami Hurricanes still have, one of those like reputationally solid football programs, but this is unlike anything Indiana fans have ever seen.
Yeah. $2,800 to get in the door. That's wild. And on the reverse side of that, Soldier Field on Sunday, the ticket prices are actually going down because -20 wind chills going on in Chicago on Sunday. People are bailing on that game. Still $400 to get in the door at Soldier Field, but that's gone down over the last couple days. All right, let's do one more thing here before we get to best bets for betting. Back to baseball. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take this little sticky note right here.
Oh God!
And we're gonna predict Alex Bregman's 2026 season. All right. Before we do so, let me pull up Alex Bregman's previous seasons, and I'll run that.
Yeah, I need to actually look at his stats to get a sense of what he normally does.
Yeah,
because I don't want to come up with preposterous numbers here.
Well, that's what I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna pull up Alex Bregman.
He's gonna be about 32 years old on opening day, by the way.
Yeah.
Not a young guy. Not a young guy for baseball standards anymore.
No, not young at all anymore. He let's see here. So last year, first and only year in Boston, he played 114 games. That was his lowest in the last 4 years. So he played 155, 161, 145, and 114. He hit 18 home runs. He drove in 62 runs, and his batting average was 273. All right, so what we are going to do is we are going to predict the games, his batting average, his runs scored, his home runs, and his RBIs for Alex Bregman. 2026, first year at the Chicago Cubs.
So we're going to ignore his OPS plus, I see.
Yeah, because those are for nerds.
All right.
Just do the man numbers.
Let's the baseball card numbers, right?
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Where do you want to start?
Alex Bregman to me is going to play 108 games.
Whoa! He's gonna get hurt. He's gonna spend some time on the IL, man. You got him missing like third of the season.
108 games for Alex Bregman.
Wow. Okay. I'll give him a few more games. I'm gonna say that Bregman's gonna give you 139 games. So miss 20-ish. 20 plus.
Alex Bregman scored 64 runs last year in 114 games, 79 runs in 145 games in 2024. Alex Bregman is going to score 62 runs for the Cubs next year.
All right. I'll say that Bregman will score. I'll give him 78 runs.
Okay. Alex Bregman, the last 5 seasons has hit 273, 260, 262, 259, and 270. I've got him hitting 257 next year for the Chicago Cubs.
Dude, how are you going to sell his jerseys where you're coming on this show and saying that he's going to have this like super disappointing season? You are hurting your business.
Yeah, potentially.
See, so like 273, but I feel like he hit a lot better in Boston because Wrigley's not really a hitter's park typically, right? Like it kind of just depends on the day.
Depends where the wind's blowing.
Right, depends on the day here. I'm going to say that Bregman hits 262.
260 what?
262.
So not much higher than me.
It's crazy, man. Like we're talking about a guy who's going to be making 30 plus million a year, and it's like he hits like 250, 260. Yeah. Like imagine someone telling you that 20 years ago.
Yeah. Like, it's insane, actually. Alex Bregman, last year was the first time in 4 years he did not get to 20 home runs. He had 23, 25, 26, and then 18 last year. I do think he hits for a little more power at Wrigley, and he gets to 21 home runs next year for the Chicago Cubs.
I'll say 22, just to be a jerk.
Yeah, that's all right. And then runs batted in. Alex Bregman drove in 62 last year, 75, 98, and 93 the previous seasons. The Cubs are going to score runs. I've got him at 78 RBIs. So 78 RBIs in 108 games. Not terrible. Not terrible. 78 runs batted in for Alex Bregman.
I mean, that's really so considering. So in 2024, his last year in Houston, he played 145 games and he had 75 RBI. So like, So you have him pretty much going up there and like not playing a lot of games, not having a super high average, but just like hitting for power.
Yeah, hitting home run, hitting the ball out of the ballpark, driving guys in the middle of that lineup. They're going to have guys on base. I mean, Seiya and PCA are going to get on base. He's going to drive them in. 78 RBIs. That's not terrible. I mean, he had 75 in 2024, 98, 93 previously. So 78 RBIs.
I'll give him 87 ribbies.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I've got 108 games, 257 batting average, 62 runs scored, 21 home runs, 78 runs batted in. You have 139 games, 262 batting average, 78 runs, 22 home runs, 87 RBIs. All right. I'm keeping
and Noah is going to be great too, because there's all these like computer dorks that are going to project his stats that have all their algorithms.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And like, what I want to do is we need to track that down. So we keep ours, but then we also keep like one of the dork projections, and then we see who's the best, like them versus us just burping out stats.
And they can tell us what their process is. Right.
Like my process was just looking at Baseball Reference and being like, oh, he's done this. Okay. Yeah. I think this makes sense then.
Yeah. I'm with you. And we didn't even get to doubles where he had 51 in 2018. I didn't realize that he was the doubles.
Well, I mean, 2018, 2019, he was leading the league in walks. He had 41 home runs. So he had 41 home runs in 2019. Yeah. And then he hasn't hit more than 26 since then.
Yeah. A little concerning. A little bit of a red flag.
A little concerning. Also raises some questions. We don't have to go there. But I mean, also, I don't know if you know this, but the Astros did have a little bit of a controversy around this time period, that 2017, 18, 19. I don't know if you know that, Rodney. I don't know if you know that the Astros might have been doing some things to maybe help their hitters.
You're pulling a me with Jake Arrieta conspiracy here.
Okay. Well, it's not a conspiracy when it literally was proven. No, I'm not talking about your Jake Arrieta conspiracy. I'm talking about the famously known Astros scandal that once it was discovered, he hasn't hit more than 26 home runs since then.
Yeah. And I'm just flat out saying Jake Arrieta cheated.
Yeah, that too. I remember one time on the radio, like I made Jim very uncomfortable because I didn't really hide it. I was just like, yeah, Albert Pujols is older than he says he is. Like, I made some like Pujols thing where I didn't even try to dance around it. I was just like, yeah, like he's in his 40s now.
Like, Jim was probably, he didn't know what to say.
I just said, yeah, no idea. But like, no, this is, and I know that your Janoris Jenkins murder report. That's yeah.
It's been like 10 years ago, and I still can't forget that day when I literally went on that live radio and said that Janoris Jenkins murdered somebody. Anyways, all right. Let's get to our best bets for betting. To recap, we already did kind of recap. We don't need to necessarily recap.
You sucked.
Yeah, that's basically what happened. I am in second place at 48 and 53. That's so bad.
That's really bad.
You're in first place
and it's
at 50
like,
and 51.
And we can't even be like, oh, but we're positive units because all we're doing is just spread betting. No, we'd be losing money.
All right, but here we go. So same rules this time. 5 games, 4 NFL, 1 college. Throughout the year, we kind of had open rules where you just picked 5 games, but now we've pretty much limited it to the football games. If I can stay within shouting distance before the NCAA tournament, I'm going to be all right. I'm going to be okay. So, all right, here we go. My first one's going to be the Buffalo Bills plus 1.5 at the Denver Broncos. I ride with the pony that got me here. I don't even think that's the right term, but I'm going to make it up as if it is. I have been all over the Buffalo Bills all season. They are my Super Bowl champion pick over the Eagles, which can no longer happen, but the Bills could happen. I will take the Buffalo Bills to win in Denver plus 1.5. I like the Bills.
Do you want to hear? This is off topic, but you mentioned the Eagles. I want to go on the record right now with a prediction, and I want you to remember it. I want you to burn it into your memory. They will hire Brian Daboll to be their next offensive coordinator.
You said the Eagles?
Yes.
That'll make them even more insufferable for you.
But like, here's the thing: it'd be a great hire for them.
Yeah.
He coached Jalen Hurts at Alabama, was his offensive coordinator. No Saquon.
Yeah, you don't want that hire.
No, of course. I would have loved them to keep whatever the Kevin Patullo. God, I wanted him to get a lifetime contract. It's terrible. Well, but also like I know everyone's saying, oh, the offensive coordinator is a scapegoat. And like, yeah, definitely offensive coordinator was limited, but like Jalen Hurts is super limited.
Yeah.
Like super limited as a passer.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you just changed that.
Yeah, I mean, and it brings Brian Daboll seems to me like a very mature leader, right?
Brian Daboll is someone who, he just coached for almost 4 seasons as the head coach in New York. He could go to Philadelphia and like he doesn't care about the criticism. Like he'll go in there and he'll be able to just handle things. He was a great offensive coordinator. And
I think somebody that, let's be honest, somebody that Sirianni could use.
And by the way, they did work together in Kansas City once upon a time.
Where Nick could literally be like, you got to take the offense. And it should work. Instead of Patullo taking the offense and it not working, Nick says, you take the offense, get it done.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what we've seen with the Eagles. Like, their success happens when they have 2 really, really good coordinators.
Yeah.
And when the offensive coordinator is bad, like, the team greatly suffers. But, like, there's no coincidence that, like, their most successful years were Shane Steichen and Kellen Moore, an offensive coordinator, and 2 guys that are head coaches now.
Yeah. All right, what's your Bills Broncos pick?
My pick is I'm right there with you, man. I have to stick with it. I said Bills Jags winners going to the Super Bowl, and I think the Bills win this game straight up. I saw a stat earlier, Rodney. Bo Nix this year is 1-8 against, or not this year. I think in his career. Apologies, because obviously he didn't lose 8 games. But Bo Nix in 2 years is 1-8 against winning teams, so teams that are above 500 that score more than 17 points.
Yeah, Bills are going to score more than 17.
Bills average 28 points a game.
Yeah. Yeah. Now they only have 3 receivers.
Don't need them. They got the rushing champ and Josh Allen.
Yeah.
And a good pass rush. And I think the Bills are going to win this game.
That's crazy to me that James Cook was the rushing champ.
Yeah, right.
I don't think if you put that trivia question out there, many would have got that right.
If I ask you, yeah, like this year, I feel like people would not think that it was James Cook. Imagine this like in a decade when you're taking a little quiz and it's like, who's the 2025 rushing champ? You're going to think like, well, that was what Saquon was playing, Jonathan Taylor, and like all these McCaffrey and all these guys. You're never going to think about James Cook.
Yeah. Derrick Henry is second, and most people thought he had a bad year, right? Like he was second. Jonathan Taylor, who was the MVP going into week 9. Bijan Robinson had his best year of his career.
Yeah. Well, Bijan had a shit ton of all-purpose yards, like because he got a ton. I think he was the leader in all-purpose yards. Yeah, he was great. Like same with McCaffrey.
Yeah. All right, my second game, I am gonna go because you did this a couple weeks ago, and I decided, well, if he can do it, I can do it. Anything he can do, I can do better. 49ers Seahawks under 45.5. Last time they played, Seattle really bottled them up. I mean, like, really got to them. And I think San Francisco will be a little bit better. But Brock Purdy is nowhere near the same quarterback without George Kittle as he is when George Kittle's in the game. No George Kittle this game. I think San Francisco is going to have a hard time scoring. Now, I think they could get ahead early. I really do think they could get ahead early. Maybe a trick play, maybe a exotic lineup somewhere along the way. I think San Francisco could get ahead early. I think they'll struggle to score eventually. I mean, I'm probably looking at like probably a 24-20 type game. Staying away from the spread, but I do think it's going to stay under. I'll take 49ers Seahawks under 45.5.
I like this. I like that a lot. Okay. My second underdog. So the Seahawks, I admit, are statistically the best team in the NFL. Not a lot of people know that. They are very good because of their defense. A great defense. Here's what I like about San Francisco, though, is that they got a great coach in Kyle Shanahan who can make adjustments, who clearly, was looking at that game they had against Seattle in Week 18 with a chance to win the division, the way that Seattle bottled them up. And he's thinking, you know what? I don't think we're going to let that happen again. Like, I like the ability that the Niners have, even with all the injuries and no Kittle definitely hurts, to make those adjustments and to keep it close. And I also mentioned, like, Brock Purdy's a good playoff performer. And Sam Darnold, historically, not a good playoff performer. And today we find out Sam Darnold is dealing with an oblique injury. He's saying it's not really a concern, but like it's a little nervous if you're Seattle and your quarterback is dealing with an oblique injury. And I if I had to say right now, I think Seattle just narrowly holds on, but keyword there is narrowly, and this is a touchdown spread right now, and I'm going to give San Francisco the respect that they deserve. I picked them to win the conference before the year started, and I think they're going to give Seattle a really, really tough game.
Okay. All right, my third one, I'm going to be honest, I went back and forth on this one. I've gone back and forth on this one. Well, I'm going to be honest here. I was working on finishing mine when you sent yours.
And you had to be different.
I mean, kind of, right? Like
it's not bad. No, like it's not bad. Like Houston didn't play very well on Monday. The Patriots are at home, and
everybody's discounting the Patriots. They have all year. I don't know. Three points. I mean, I'll take the push if the Patriots decide to win on a field goal late to win it. I don't know. I don't have a great feel in this game. Probably my least favorite of the games I've picked here. I'm going to take the Patriots -3. Try to get one back on you here. Giving your pick away here, but Patriots -3 is my pick.
That's okay. You can give away the pick. A couple fun Houston stats for you.
Yeah.
No, actually, just CJ Stroud in particular. So CJ Stroud is the only quarterback in NFL history to win at least one playoff game in each of his first 3 NFL seasons.
It's impressive.
It is. He now has more playoff wins than each of the following quarterbacks: Justin Herbert, Kyler Murray, Kirk Cousins, Tua Tagovailoa, Trevor Lawrence, Baker Mayfield, Dak Prescott, and Jordan Love. Now,
it's impressive.
I'm not going to sit here and say that's the reason that I'm taking Houston to win. I just thought that it would be fun. The reason that I like Houston in this matchup, number one, is I think that they proved it on Monday that defense is Super Bowl caliber. It is an exceptional defense. It is a nightmare pass rush that I think can really put a ton of pressure on Drake May and the Patriots, which, like, that offense wasn't particularly good against the Chargers. Like, Drake May didn't play particularly well. And I'm encouraged that Houston was able to win that game at Pittsburgh against Tomlin on a Monday night, getting maybe one of the worst CJ Stroud performances that we've seen.
Right.
Like, the fact that CJ Stroud played like that on the road and Houston still won the way that they did, I think just shows how good that their defense actually is. So when CJ Stroud's able to play better against a worse defense in New England than what he was facing in Pittsburgh, I think Houston's going to be at an advantage here. So I'll take him against the spread for this, but I'm going to say that the Houston Texans will be advancing to the AFC Championship for the first time in franchise history.
Okay. Game number 4, I'm going to take the Los Angeles Rams over the Chicago Bears. Whatever.
What changed? Yeah. What changed? What happened? Rodney? You were such a Bears homer all week.
Matthew Stafford has too many weapons. He's too many weapons. Bears defense porous at best. The Rams get to 31. I think the magic runs out on the Bears coming from behind. I'll take 31-24 Rams in this one. Sean McVay's a better coach than Ben Johnson.
Allegedly. I don't know, man. You ask Bears fans right now, and Ben Johnson is the greatest thing that ever happened to the city. The only concern, I have a couple concerns with the Rams, and it's the reason that I'm going Bears +4. God, I'm hoping the Rams win this game. But the reason I'm taking the Bears +4 is, obviously they do have like the second half abilities that the Rams really don't have all that much of right now. And like for all the joking we were doing last week about Bears weather against the Packers, this is actual Bears weather. And like Stafford in these cold games historically is not the same quarterback. And like the Rams in these types of games, not the same team. So like the weather is going to factor in. The Rams are a better football team. I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, the Bears are better. Like the Rams are a better football team. That's why they're favored by 4 points on the road.
Right.
But like, who am I in this ridiculous season to say that the Bears can't pull off some black magic voodoo again and do something crazy against a team that I think is probably the best in the NFC, maybe only behind Seattle.
All right. So there we are. Those are our 4 NFL picks, which means we move to the final pick of the weekend, and we call it on Monday. And I am going to go with Miami, Indiana over 47.5. Going to put some points on the board, even if it's 27-24. That's enough. That's enough to cover spread. I mean, Miami's not going to get shut out. They're going to get 17 at minimum. They get 17. I think Indiana could get to 31. They wouldn't cover the spread, but they would go over the total. I don't see a scenario where this stays under 47.5. If you look, I mean, obviously Indiana, Ohio State was 13-10. Indiana only allowed 3 points to Alabama. Alabama's a little offensively challenged at times. I like the over here. I think we're looking at a 27-24 type game, maybe even 31-27, somewhere around there. I like the over here. I'm taking over 47.5.
8.5 points. It's too many.
They
got, as you like to say about Big 12 basketball players.
We had dudes.
Miami has dudes.
Yeah.
Miami has dudes. And like Indiana's a good team with a lot of super seniors. Like they're very experienced. They get the Heisman winner. Signetti is making a case to be the best coach in the sport right now. Like Miami's got dudes. And people have been doubting them all year. Like people thought they shouldn't even be in the playoff. I mean, like we thought they should, but like it was an upset that they did end up making it.
Right.
But like they were underdogs against Ohio State. They weren't runaway favorites against an Ole Miss team that has 2 coaches on their staff right now. Like people have been just sort of overlooking Miami for one reason or another. And I think this is another example of it. It's funny because that's the same argument I've been saying about Indiana all year. Like people have just been overlooking Indiana until it's too late. And now I feel like that's happening with Miami a little bit. So
right.
It's going to be a close game on Monday. I think we're in for a really, really good matchup.
Okay, those were our best bets for betting. I am not doing well, and you are doing a little bit better by 2 games. All right, let's get to our Mount Rushmores of 22. I'm just going to start right now with the National Football League and say Emmitt Smith deserves to be on our Mount Rushmores of 22. Let's find 3 other guys.
Besides Emmitt Smith. So I think Emmitt Smith's probably a good start for sure.
Yeah, best and really the only one in the NFL I love. I was looking at a couple others.
Well, I mean Derrick Henry.
Vikings. Yeah, but we don't put a lot of current guys in.
We should.
I mean, that next time around we could do only Mount Rushmores of active players.
I mean, you insisted on putting Shohei Fraudtani there for 17 Mount Rushmore.
He's pretty good. All right. Okay. What sport you got? Because I've got some NBA up here.
So I'm looking at baseball right now. So it's funny. We had Roger Clemens. We were debating him for 21. We decided no. He also is 22. Wore for 6 seasons with the Yankees and then his time with Houston as well. But the best 22 right now that you would say is like, oh, he's known for that number is Clayton Kershaw. So I would say Clayton Kershaw is probably a pretty good candidate.
Yeah. And he's no longer an active player, although he is playing in the WBC.
Yeah. Why?
I don't know. I saw that come across. And I was like, I don't know what's going on here.
Dude, your last time throwing a baseball professionally was in Game 7 of a World Series. Just be good with that and then go away. Go and hang out with your buddy Matt Stafford. We don't need to see you taking up a roster spot in the World Baseball Classic. It's stupid, it's selfish, and it's just a typical Dodger mindset.
Yeah. So. All right, so we'll go Clayton Kershaw. Why don't you go NHL? I'm going to move to the NBA where our best option is Elgin Baylor, a Hall of Famer, but also you've got Clyde the Glide Drexler. You got current player Jimmy Butler. Michael Redd?
Yes.
22. Chris Middleton is 22. And I can't go on without mentioning current player number 22. Are you gonna get this one?
Current player number 22.
Former first overall pick. Been with 3 franchises, never played with.
So first overall pick.
Yep.
Current player.
Yep.
Number 22.
Won a championship.
Okay, won a championship.
Been active on 2 organizations. I believe he was drafted by a third and then traded before he was able to play there.
Why is this not coming to me? What?
I will give you 15 more seconds, and then I'm going to give one more hint.
All right, number 22. The first overall pick.
Yes.
Champion.
Yes.
I'm just like trying to go through, but like my mind is short circuiting right now.
Yeah. All right. So actually, he's been with so it'd be 4 organizations. All right. So he was drafted by the Cleveland Cavaliers. He was then traded. He was then traded to Minnesota.
It's not. It's not. Oh, is it Andrew Wiggins?
It is Andrew Wiggins.
Andrew Wiggins. Okay, I should have known. Kansas Jayhawk. That's what this would be.
That was going to be a hint as well. Minnesota, Golden State, Miami. Now drafted by Cleveland. Do you remember him being drafted by Cleveland?
I do remember, yeah, because he was drafted there, but then immediately sent to Minnesota in the Kevin Love trade.
Right. So that's
never actually played for Cleveland.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. Played. I had one wrong, but been with 4 organizations, played with 3, won an NBA championship with Golden State. Yes, a member of the Kansas Jayhawks. So and then Andrew Wiggins.
You know what? Andrew Wiggins has had a very interesting career where like people were like, oh, he's not really like kind of a winning player. He's a little like one-dimensional, but like he's ended up being a very good player for Golden State, Miami. Like these are like championship caliber organizations that like really value him. His defense has become like really solid as well. Like he didn't become the star that maybe some expected, but he's a very, very good NBA player.
Yeah,
and, I mean, and well-rounded for sure.
Yeah, I mean, he plays 32 minutes a night in Miami. I mean, that's
but we were. I think when Andrew Wiggins was before he was in the NBA, I thought people looked at him as a potential superstar, like number 1 on a team.
For sure. Well, I mean, when you're the overall number 1 pick, you probably should be. But yeah, no, I've liked his career. Very quiet guy, doesn't really mess around. I mean, never really hear much from him. But Andrew Wiggins, number 22. But anyways, Elgin Baylor, Clayton Kershaw, Emmitt Smith, and now we move to pucks.
So the only puck that I'm seeing, so there's a couple. So this is a little bit before our time, but Mike Bossy, who was a great goal scorer for the New York Islanders all in the 80s for their dynasty. Someone who played for both of our hockey teams, the beginning and the end of his career, Kevin Shattenkirk was number 22. Yeah, Kevin Shattenkirk was a pretty good player. How about Daniel Sedin? Not Henrik Sedin.
Okay.
Daniel Sedin, who is a Hall of Famer.
I mean, he's in the Hall of Fame. I think it's hard to argue, especially when we're doing one from each sport. It's hard to argue with a Hall of Famer, right?
So would you go Daniel Sedin or Mike Bossy? Dino Ciccarelli is also a Hall of Dino Ciccarelli is a very solid option too. So any of those names stand out to you amongst the hockey crowd?
I mean, I don't know Bossy much at all. I know Ciccarelli, and I know
so Bossy only played for 10 years. So short career, 10 years, and had in those 10 years 573 goals.
That's a lot.
He averaged 62 goals a year.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of goals, dude. 4-time Cup winner with those Islanders. All
right. He's in.
I would have put Mike Bossy there, dude. That's insane.
That is insane. That's crazy. I had no idea that those were the numbers he put up.
That's like Barry Sanders-esque, but for goal scoring.
Yeah. No, that's great. That's great. All right, Bossy, Emmitt Smith, Elgin Baylor, and
Clayton Kershaw.
All right.
So Elgin Baylor for NBA. I know you mentioned a few, but yeah, Elgin.
I mean, Clyde the Glide would be a decent choice as well, but I think Elgin Baylor over Clyde is the right choice there.
All right, that's a good Mount Rushmore.
Yes, Mount Rushmore of 22. All right, let's wrap it up. We've been over an hour tonight. Enjoy the NFL playoffs this weekend. Enjoy the college football playoff. We will be back on Tuesday. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, not X, at Stupid Sports Show, no W on the end. And of course, if you're listening now, you know our programming times are Tuesday and Thursday at 9 p.m. Central Time. Our Substack is over 500 now, or is above units for the month. We started slow. We were down to about 7 units to start the year, but we made a big comeback the last couple of days. We're ahead for 2026, had a huge 2025. So sign up on Substack. You'll get picks to your mailbox every day. And finally, Tim, this is on you. There you go.
All right. And then I have before we get out of here, I have 3 fantastic Dodger stats to just ruin your night. You can listen to all 122 episodes of the Stupidest Sports Show on Earth on Spotify, Apple, iHeart, anywhere you get your podcasts. Like and subscribe. All right. All right. Here we go. Number 1. The Dodgers over the last 3 years, the total dollar amount in contracts that they've had the last 3 years is higher than the overall team valuations of 17 franchises in Major League Baseball.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's about $2.3 billion. The six players of Shohei Ohtani, Kyle Tucker, Blake Snell, Tyler Glasnow, Freddie Freeman, and Mookie Betts make more money than the entire roster of the Atlanta Braves, who have one of the largest payrolls in the sport. And then 1 year of Kyle Tucker, so a single season of Kyle Tucker, is equal to 89% of the Miami Marlins payroll from the 2025 season.
Stupid. And they deserve a lockout. I cannot feel sorry for this sport if they have a lockout a year from now.
Nope. Enjoy baseball this year because you're not sure when we're going to see it again after that.
Right.
So, all right. Let's get out of here. I'm gonna think happy John Harbaugh thoughts. No. Baseball totally ruined what was a great 24 hours for me.
Tomorrow is the St. Louis Cardinal Caravan. It's 9 miles down the road, in the first year ever that it's come. I have zero interest. I will not go. I will not go.
So McGreevy doesn't do it for you?
Yeah, not happening. Chip Carey.
Who is coming to Peoria?
Chip Carey will be in town. If you're excited about Chip Carey, let me pull that up real quick. I should probably at least give some kind of. We do have a lot of Cardinals fans. Gateway Sports Network. They're very excited about it. Those of you that are interested in going, I will pull this up now. So we have Michael McGreevy is going to be in the house.
I just found a name. It's just like McGreevy is a staple on the Caravan. Like it has to be McGreevy.
Thomas Sajaci is coming to Peoria.
I think he started at second base in the game that we went to.
Yeah.
Yoel
Pozo is coming. It's a catcher. It's one of their. Well, they don't have 6 catchers anymore because they got rid of Contreras. Andre Palante, who will likely be in the rotation for the Cardinals. Well, he probably will be in the rotation.
I think him and McGreevy are both in the rotation.
They are. So 2 starters. Oh man. And then you've got former player Brad Thompson going to be in the house. You've got Benji Molina is coming to Peoria. And the headliner, the MC for the night, Mr. Chip Carey, will also be in the Caravan. It is at 6 o'clock, Embassy Suites in East Peoria. Fans 16 and over will receive 2 tickets to a Cardinals game in 2026. That way they can boost their crowds, 2.9 million or something like that. Kids under 15 can receive 1 autograph from each current and former player. There you go.
That's a very, very sad group of players that you just said. That makes me sad.
The only thing I will give to them
also, why is Benji Molina? Why is Benji Molina specifically the Molina that's going? Does he work for the team? Because Benji Molina played 0 games for the Cardinals during his career.
So the Cardinals have a Spanish broadcast, and he's the Spanish broadcaster.
That's so random.
Yeah.
He's been for I'm reading it now. Yeah, he became a coach for the Cardinals in 2013, Rangers in 2014, then 2016, color commentator on the Spanish language radio broadcast for the Cardinals. So he's been for a decade.
Yeah. I will say other guys are going other places. Let me just run these down. Jefferson City, Missouri, you get Ivan Herrera, you get Matthew Liberatore, You get former Cardinal Bernard Gilkey, Quinn Matthews, a young guy, Al Rabowski, John Rooney. So some guys go in there. If you are going to Springfield, Missouri, you get J.J. Weatherholt. We'll go there. Victor Scott's going there. Jose Fermin, Kyle Leahy, Ricky Horton, Kerry Robinson. Of course, the Peoria, Champaign, Bloomington one. That's the one I talked about. If you're going to Memphis or Jonesboro, Arkansas, or Dyersburg, Tennessee, you get some young guys. You get Liam Doyle and you get Blaze Jordan. They're going to that one. Matt Adams is back and doing the caravan with the Cardinals. Alan Bennis, Gordon Graceffo. So Peoria's actually got the worst of the players here.
Yeah.
And then if you go to Centralia, Evansville, Indiana, or Paducah, Kentucky, you get Jimmy Crooks, young catcher for the franchise. Richard Fitz, Richard Fitz. Josh Baez, Nathan Church, Mark Sweeney, and a couple other guys. So there you go. That's the Cardinal Caravan going on this weekend. And then the winter warm-up goes on in St. Louis after that. Let's get out of here.
That was a sad way to end the show. I'm
not going.
I'm sad now. All right. Well, one of our listeners, I'm sure, will. I was going to go to all of them. All right. Well, let's get out of here. He's Rodney Newpol. Man, I'm bummed out. I'm Tim, Jim's brother, Van Stratton. Enjoy the divisional weekend. The national championship. We'll be back Tuesday night at 9 p.m. To recap a lot of football, maybe some coaching hires, maybe some more players that the Dodgers signed. TBD. We'll find out. But this has been another great edition of the stupidest sports show on earth. We'll talk to you next week. See you guys.
See ya.
Step right up, dummies, and listen to the stupidest sports show on earth with Rodney Newpol and Tim Van Stratton. Yeah.